You are driving to work on a Tuesday. The check engine light comes on. Your heart sinks. You know exactly what that light means. It means money you don't have. Now, if you had $500 in the bank, this is an annoyance. You fix the sensor and you move on. But you don't have the buffer. So, you ignore it. You keep driving. 2 weeks later, the sensor failure causes the catalytic converter to overheat and fail. Now, the repair isn't $200, it's $1,500. You can't pay that, so the car breaks down completely. Now, you're taking Ubers to work. That costs $30 a day compared to $3 in gas. You're late twice because the Uber canceled, so you lose shifts. This isn't just bad luck. This is a mathematical trap. You are literally paying 3 times more for the car repair because you couldn't afford the cheap repair. My name is Mo, and I spend way too much time thinking about the hidden mechanics of wealth. Usually, we talk about compound interest working for you, but today we need to talk about the inverse. We need to talk about when the math of the universe is working against you. If you are someone who feels like you are working harder every single year, but your bank balance never seems to actually go up, or if you feel like one bad Tuesday could ruin your entire financial year, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Today, we are breaking down the poverty premium. It's the economic reality that goods and services actually cost more when you have less money. We aren't talking about stocks or crypto today. We are talking about why being broke is the most expensive hobby you can have. And we're going to look at the theory that explains why it's so hard to climb out of that hole, the Sam Vimes Boots theory. This theory comes from the writer Terry Pratchett in his Discworld novel Men-at-Arms. It perfectly encapsulates the socioeconomic unfairness of liquidity. The theory goes like this. The character Sam Vimes earns $38 a month. But he has to buy boots. A really good pair of leather boots costs $50, but a cheap pair costs $10. Now, the $50 boots are incredible. They last for 10 years. They keep your feet dry. They are comfortable. The $10 boots? They are terrible. The cardboard gives out in the rain. They last about a season before they leak like a sieve. Here is the trap. Sam Vimes doesn't have $50. He only has $10. So he buys the cheap boots. He has to buy another pair for $10, and another, and another. Over a 10-year period, the person who could afford the $50 boots has spent $50. They still have dry feet. Sam Vimes, he has spent $100 on boots, 10 pairs at $10 each, and his feet are still wet. This is the essence of the poverty premium. The rich man spends half as much money to get a better product simply because he had the capital up front. It's expensive to be poor, and once you see this pattern, you start to see it everywhere. Let's dig deeper into the buy nice or buy twice phenomenon, but apply it to your weekly grocery run. If you have a Costco membership and $100 to spare, you buy toilet paper in a literal crate. You are paying pennies per roll. You buy 50 pounds of rice. You buy the gallon of mayonnaise. But if you are living paycheck to paycheck, you cannot lock up $20 of capital in toilet paper. You need that cash for the bus fare tomorrow. So you buy the 4-pack at the corner store. It's the same with food. If you can't afford the bulk bag of rice, or if you don't have a car to carry the bulk groceries home, you are forced into the smaller, higher margin items. You are paying a premium for liquidity. You are paying extra to keep your cash free for other emergencies. And this applies to appliances too. If you can afford a washing machine, your laundry is almost free, just water and electricity. If you can't afford the $500 machine, you go to the laundromat. Visual. Animation of coins going into a laundry machine slot, stacking up to exceed the cost of a new machine. Over 3 years, you will pay enough in quarters to buy 3 washing machines. But because you never had the lump sum at one time, you are trapped renting the machine slowly, forever. But it gets significantly darker than just groceries and boots. This is where I get genuinely frustrated, because the system is designed to punish you for stumbling. Let's talk about the financial industry. There is a fundamental rule in economics. The rich get paid interest. The poor pay interest. If you keep $10,000 in a savings account, the bank pays you. They give you perks. They waive fees. But what if you have $0 or negative $10? Does the bank say, hey, looks like you're having a rough month, let's cover you? No, they hit you with an overdraft fee. Think about the logic here. You ran out of money, you bought a $4 coffee that puts you into the negative, the bank charges you $35 for the privilege of being broke. That coffee just cost you $39. A study out of the University of Bristol in the UK quantified this. They found that low-income households pay a poverty premium of around £490, that's about $600, every single year just for essential services like insurance, energy, and credit. And credit is the biggest trap of them all. If you have a high credit score, which usually correlates with having money, you get a loan at 7%. If you have a low score, you might pay 30%. Let's say you need to borrow $5,000 for that car repair we talked about earlier. The wealthy person pays back maybe $5,500 total. The person with bad credit pays back $8,000 for the exact same money. The risk is priced in, sure, but functionally it acts as a tax. It is a wealth transfer from the bottom to the top. You are working hours of your life just to service the interest that the wealthy person never has to pay. We see this same Boots theory math in housing and energy too. In many places, if you have a low credit score, you can't get on a direct debit plan for your electricity. You are forced onto a prepayment meter. You literally have to top up a card to keep the lights on. Statistically, the rates on these prepayment meters are higher than standard billing. You are paying more for the exact same electrons because the power company views you as a risk. And look, I know what you're going to say. Just don't spend money you don't have. But we all need a roof over our heads. Rent is the ultimate subscription service. When you own a home, your mortgage payment is essentially a forced savings account. You pay down the principal, and you get that money back when you sell. When you rent, you are paying someone else's mortgage. Because you cannot afford the down payment, the Boots, you are forced to pay a premium to live in a house you will never own. The landlord is Sam Vimes with the $50 Boots. The tenant is Sam Vimes with the $10 Boots. The landlord has the capital to fix the roof properly. The tenant, if they were responsible for it, might only afford a patch. It spirals. This is entropy. Things fall apart, and if you don't have the capital to fix them permanently, you pay to fix them temporarily, over and over. There is one more cost we need to factor in, and this one is invisible, but it's the most expensive one of all. Time. Time, as we know, is money, but specifically, time is opportunity cost. If you can't afford a car, you take the bus. A 20-minute drive becomes a 90-minute commute. That is 2 hours of your day every day vanished. That is time you cannot spend working a second job, learning a new skill, or just resting so you don't burn out. If you are poor, you spend hours in the laundromat. You spend hours on the phone arguing about late fees. You spend hours shopping at 3 different stores to find the coupons. This creates a bandwidth tax. There is a psychological concept called scarcity mindset. When you are worried about how to pay rent, your IQ literally drops. Your brain is so consumed by the immediate survival calculation that you lose the bandwidth to plan for the long term. You aren't making bad decisions because you are not smart. You are making short-term survival decisions because you are in a crisis. You ignore the check engine light not because you were lazy, but because your brain is screaming that you need that money for food today. So, this is depressing, I get it. The math is rigged, the Boots are expensive. So, what is the actionable step here? How do we stop buying the $10 Boots? You have to declare war on the trap. The only way to stop paying the poverty premium is to build what I call the buffer. Most financial advice tells you to save for a rainy day. That's too passive. You need to save to escape the mathematical penalty of being poor. You are not saving for a vacation. You are saving so that next time the car breaks, you can fix it immediately for $200 instead of waiting until it costs $1,500. You are paying off the poor tax so you never have to pay it again. Step 1. Identify your vampire costs. Where are you paying a premium? Is it late fees? Is it buying single rolls of paper towels? Is it interest on a credit card? Step 2. Aggressively build a $1,000 emergency fund. Sell things if you have to. Pick up gig work. Do whatever it takes to get that first pile of cash. This $1,000 is not for spending, it is your boots fund. Once you have that buffer, you stop paying overdraft fees. That saves you $35 a month. You can buy the bulk rice. That saves you $10 a month. You can pay the insurance up front for a discount. Suddenly, the wind is at your back. You are fighting a war against entropy, and the only weapon that works is a buffer of cash that stands between you and the chaos of the world. It's expensive to be poor, yes, but the moment you have that buffer, you start playing by the rules of the wealthy. You stop paying interest, and you start earning it. The Sam Vimes Boots Theory isn't just a story about shoes. It's a story about the unfairness of starting from zero. It teaches us that being broke is hard work, it's expensive, and it requires more mental discipline than being rich ever does. But once you understand